Today we have with us Lisa Marie from McCall Pilates. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your connection with McCall and how you came to be here and how Pilates was a part of that.
Oh, for sure. Well, it was back in 2004. I went on a whitewater kayak trip from Colorado to Idaho and went through McCall, and I just remember seeing Payette Lake, and my jaw just dropped open. I was like, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Beautiful trees, the lake just was shining. It was just one of those August days that I remembered. And so years went by, and my husband and I, we were living out in West Virginia, and we were trying to find a new place to live, an outdoorsy place. I like to whitewater kayak, and my husband is a fisherman. And I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm not kidding, and I was like, McCall, Idaho. And my husband looked at me like, wait, McCall, what's that place about? And then I started telling my husband, Justin, more about McCall and what I remembered. And then before you knew it, I was Googling McCall. Is there a Pilates studio in McCall? Because that's my livelihood. I love teaching Pilates. And so I wanted to go to a place that I could teach Pilates. And I noticed it didn't have a studio. And I did have a dream that, hey, I want to open up a Pilates studio to share the love of Pilates to others.
That's such a great story. I love hearing people's origin stories and how they came to be in McCall. So many love affairs happen on trips to McCall for the first time, and people just want to come back. And that's awesome that we did not have a Pilates studio and that you are here to provide that for us. So tell us a little bit about Pilates for our viewers that may not be familiar with what Pilates is all about and its benefits. Tell us what it means for you and what it can do for people that practice it.
Okay, Nicole. Yeah. Well, the Pilates method was actually designed by Joseph Pilates in the 1920s. He actually called it controlology. It is a method that includes the mind and body, and the repertoire of exercises that we do combine flexibility, strength through the whole body. We focus also on breath techniques as we move. And so it's a mental workout. You can't be thinking about anything else when you're doing Pilates. What Pilates means to me is it really has created balance in my body. I had lots of injuries from a big ski accident in 1998, and also lower back pain since I can't remember, since I was a little kid. And so the Pilates method and the repertoire has really gotten me to a point that I'm pain-free, but also can continue the extreme activities that I like to do here in the Valley.
That's great to know. So Pilates is, as an instructor, seems to be a hands-on process. So tell me how McCall Pilates is adapting to our current situation right now. What are you doing to still connect with your clients?
So true. Yeah. Most of when we're teaching, we are very hands-on. And so when we had to close our doors, I've always wanted to offer classes online, but I just haven't had the time. And so this was the opportunity to offer virtual online Zoom classes to my clientele. The neatest thing that has happened through the past few weeks is that I'm actually reconnecting with clients from West Virginia, Colorado, that are joining those classes. I actually taught a friend of mine who is a Pilates instructor last week on her equipment at her studio. So it was pretty fun to be able to connect, especially when my doors are physically closed right now.
That is, this has been one of the exciting things that has come of this, is that we're all learning to use technology in different ways and to feed that need to connect with people. So I applaud you for all of the adapting that you're doing. That's really, that's great job. Great job.
Thank you.
So I understand that you're going to demonstrate some movements for us, for all of us that may be adapting ourselves to new workstations or maybe just watching Netflix a little bit too much. Show us some things that could help us.
Awesome. Yeah, can't wait to show you. The main thing that we want to focus on, especially when you're sitting at your desk for a long time, maybe watching too much TV, is you want to stand up. That sitting, you know, we spend way too many hours on our butt, and a lot of the muscles will get shortened. So just by standing, in a weird way, you're getting a little stretch here, especially if you sit a lot. So we're going to work on our standing posture. So the first thing that I'm going to have you do is actually march in place. I want you to move, get those legs moving, get your arms moving, and then go ahead and stop. First thing that I want you to look at is your feet. Okay, where do they land? Can you get your feet in a parallel position? And what we're lining up is our second toe with our kneecaps, with our hip bones. So we're focusing on our bones. So we're in the most perfect posture that we can be and putting less strain onto our joints. Soften the knees, because most of us have a tendency to hyperextend the back of our legs. So keeping those knees soft. And then take one hand on top of your head and just lengthen through the crown of the head. By doing that, you're creating what we call axial elongation. So if you can think of like energy going up towards the ceiling and energy going down towards the floor, like there's two arrows, you're lengthening your spine, lengthening your body just by standing in this upright position. Now let's make sure your hips, your pelvis is level and it's in what we call a neutral position. So place your hands on top of your iliac crest bones. So you'll feel your hips, the bony part of your hips. And I'm just going to stand sideways so you can see me, but you're just going to rock your pelvis back and forth. We call this a posterior and an anterior tilt. Our pelvis is made to go both directions. Usually when we're sitting, we're kind of stuck in this posterior tilt. So we're going to try to get a little stretch in that lower back and also in the abdominals. And then you're going to stop in the center. And once you're in the center, think of yourself as like having this nice long tail. And that tail is going straight down towards the floor. It's not tucked. It's not extended, but it's just straight down. Okay? So here from the feet to the pelvis, to the shoulders, to the crown of the head, you're really lengthening and you're feeling the strength from the ground up. And so just by taking those images and that focus, you can really improve your posture. What we're going to go into next is an exercise called sternum lifts. This is a great way to open up the chest, especially if you've been at the computer, rounding those shoulders forward. Place your fingers right on your sternum, so that breastbone. Open your elbows wide. Bring 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Now, on an inhale, push your sternum towards your fingers. Gaze up towards the sky, lifting your chin up. Exhale, draw your abdominals in, bring your chest, your chin, your head back to center. That's a great way to get your upper spine in what we call extension. And we're actually getting the upper spine, which is your thoracic spine, in that extension work. It's the complete opposite of flexion. So when we're sitting and we're at the computer and we're forward like this, what is happening is you're actually stretching the upper back muscles, okay? And all the muscles in the front get really tight. Most of the time we think, oh, okay, well, I need to really get myself into this upright position, but we need to use our breath to get there, okay? So we don't strain in the lower back. So let's try that again. place your fingers on your sternum. Take an inhale, draw your sternum forward, gazing up. Again, the whole focus is the upper thoracic spine is extending. We're being careful not to extend the lower back. And then exhale to slowly bring it to center. And you could do that about 5 to 10 times. You can do that throughout the day. You know, I like to set a little timer on my computer so I'm not sitting and at the computer for more than 45 minutes. Next stretch we're going to do is called lateral side bending. You could do this seated or standing. Feet are in that parallel position. Take your right arm, reach it overhead. Make sure your right shoulder blade is just settled onto your rib cage. Inhale, slowly bend to the left. Now take this opposite hand, place it on your rib cage. What we're going to do is try to breathe towards that right rib cage. So inhale, expand your ribs, and then exhale, slowly stack back up. And when you stack back up, think about that nice upright posture. Let's try the other side. Bring one arm up. Feel that scapula, that shoulder blade on the rib cage. So you want to be careful you're not overreaching from the shoulder. And then slowly bend. Take the opposite hand, place it on the rib cage. Take a long inhale, expanding that breath. And then exhale, draw that tummy in, activate the core to slowly stack back up. Now, the main reason we want to do some nice side bending, again, is that the obliques, and I call it the side bodies, kind of get shortened when we're sitting, when we're slouching, when we're driving. And so really opening up these side bodies will create more length in your body, but also you'll be able to breathe better. Really taking your breath towards your back body, your rib cage, your sternum, your belly, will bring up that lung capacity. And that's one reason this lateral side bending is a great exercise to do every day. So practice those 3 exercises every day, and I'm sure you'll feel better.
Lisa, that is such a great demonstration. Your teaching style is so clear and concise, and I really, really like the way you explained it. So if somebody would like to start learning about Pilates, how can they get in touch with you? How can they get started?
Well, you can go to our website. It's www.mccallpilates.com. And you can also give us a ring at 208-315-3730. And so you can either give me a call and we can talk more about Pilates and our schedule, or you can go online and we have our virtual schedule coming up. Our next challenge will be starting next week, and that includes 10 virtual classes and also a workshop with Susan McCandless, who is a certified nutritionist and dietitian.
Well, that is great. That's a whole well-rounded approach, and people should definitely reach out to you to learn more. I appreciate you being here today and think this was really great information to learn how to stretch and get ourselves moving a little bit during the workday. This is good information for all the time. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.